start. Yes, sir. That's what I'm going to do. Not required actually. Just clean all this thing. Then rest of the part. Hmm? That is something we can add. Just cleaning it because, or maybe we can keep it also. Sweater something we can keep it, right? For the grains. Okay. Let's the background then. Yes. That's like old photo. So like if you scan any photo, it will look like this only, pixelated and all those dust. Formats, different formats, depending upon like what you are like for what you are creating this thing. So usually for printing and all, we don't use like PNGs. Usually we use for transfer file, share file because it store most of the detail. Or like we have Targa, like for gaming we use Targa TGA. It's a format. For gaming we use that, or maybe we use DDS. Those formats are there. For this you can use PSD, JPEG, or anything for digital art. With low intensity, intensity control use pen pressure. Okay. Start. Looks it's working. Yeah. We are doing anything. Some machine follow. Hmm? 13, 5. Use the brush size. No. Otherwise, it will blur all the edges and everything. Fine. Okay, so right now this you can see older photos you have seen. It looks like this. This is basically called sepia tone. So, or like when you develop any photo, it gets old, it gets this thing. So, to change this, I want to change so I have to color it. So, if I have this color, so if I whatever color I'll add, it will mix with this color, give me some different color. So, I have to make it black and white. And here you can see we have all those options. So you can see hue saturation. Click on this. Because it's a constructive way of creating, I can convert this thing directly black and white, but it will merge everything. So I want to keep all the layers intact without deleting anything or modifying these layers. Just reduce saturation. There's no saturation, no color. So 100% grayscale. I can like always go back and check everything. So now this thing is ready. Now I want to create that frame we had, photo frame. So create a new layer with this marquee tool. I just simply rectangle. I just create a selection. I can use this and fill white. You can see here color swatch. To switch between this, you can press X. To switch between this, or by default, it's white and black. Right now, it's not black. If you want to make it black, press B. We'll reset this color swatch. Then X, I want to fill white. Selection is there, Alt, delete. Alt, delete. Control D, deselect this. Yes. So this is like you can create it like this. This is one way, or you can go to the, you can see under this arrow there is a shape, rectangle shape. You can use the shape. Click here. So from here to the drop down menu, there is something called shape, and another was path. So path is basically just the outline of this without any fill or anything. You cannot add any color or anything. So for this, you can use a shape also, or you can use marker tool and fill it. Both works. Shape. So whenever you create this shape, it basically by default is solid shape. And if you want to add any color, anything, fill it, enter. Like this will do. And by right now, scroll this outline is on. So to switch it off. Open. Stroke is on. Switch it off, or you can go back to older things. So I'm using this reason. This shape is vector. So what I can do here is I can use this shape, snap it here. It will automatically snap by default. Enter. So I can, because I want same thickness or all the sides. So Control J for duplicate. Control T for transform. Rotate, and if you hold Shift, it will snap every 45 degrees. So 90-degree snap, and I can place it here. So without without like distorting or pixelating anything, I can change. Because if it's a raster, like marquee tool is creating, that is raster. So if you rotate and stretch or it change the shape, it will blur. It will go blur. So here, you simply have to press enter. Done. Now this one, I have to duplicate. So press V for selection tool. If you press Alt and click on the layer and drag it, it will duplicate the layer automatically. Okay. So by default, you can move anywhere. If you with Alt, if you hold Shift, it will snap. You can go only left, right, or vertically or horizontally. You can move. You cannot move anywhere else. Snap. Done. Same thing. Holding Shift. Yeah. And now you can see like we have 4 layers for rectangles. So if I want to like reduce my number, because number of layers, like if you have more layers, it will increase the file size. So what I can do is select all of them. Like select this, Shift, select all 4, Control E to merge. But this you can see this dots line. That means it's still vector. Until now, unless you right click, rasterize this, it will be vector. That's one layer now. Okay, so let's see everything now. Let's see. Okay. So let's what we can do is we can add some color to this thing. So for this, I need a reference. Like color from where to pick, because skin have a lot of tonal variation. So a lot of tones. Color we have near to eyes, nose, or cheek, slightly reddish in tint, forehead slightly yellowish in tint. So those tint lots of color tonal values are there. So I need those color. Either I can add manually or I can use a photo reference. And from there I can pick it easily. So, like whenever you're choosing a portrait, anything reference for color and all, search something which is similar, like shadow and similar highlights. That will give you better result. If you choose something which is like entirely different, then your total value won't get those color, total value gradient, all those things you won't get it. So make sure choose something similar. So let's see. It looks nice. It's one of them. Right click, copy, Control V, paste it. Control C, this thing. So by default in Photoshop, if you from corner, if you scale, it will proportionately scale up and down. In older version, you have to hold Shift. If you're using CC CC 2021 version, by default it will like proportionate scale. But if you're using older version, like maybe CS6 or CS7 or something, CC like initial versions. So for that, you have to hold Shift. Okay, so now I have this color. So I need to add those color gradients here. So this is my topmost layer. I need to pick those color. So to fill this, what I'll do, again go back here, something called gradient map. So basically, you can add the total values with this gradient map in one layer. Otherwise, you have to add multiple layers for each color. Like this, you can see it become almost inverted, black and white. So what you can do is reverse it. Now click this and now pick all these color. White is basically lighter tone, black is basically darker tone. Click here, you can see the color. And lightest tone maybe forehead or cheek or nose. Like this. Oh, one more thing. Before applying this, make sure you have selected this gradient map, not the mask. This white box you see, that basically mask. Like suppose you want to okay, we'll explain mask first. Then we'll add this. Here you can see this black and white desaturation, this layer have a mask. Suppose I want to desaturate only one section only. So in that case, I can select the mask, go to brush. B is shortcut for brush. And if you paint black, and this mask is very important because like for your entire career, you will be using this all the time. This works for your Photoshop, for your Substance, for your sculpting, for everything it works. And process is exactly same. For like Honda is exactly same. Black means basically if you apply a black on in this paint black in this mask, it will basically make that section invisible or maybe transparent. So it's black. If I paint it, so basically you can see that black color here, that area is basically not desaturated. If you want to invert it again, X, black hides, white shows. Huh. It's there now. So, image was great. Hmm. Yes. Hmm. Yeah, so like with black, you're masking the gray, you're controlling the gray area. So in this layer, this particular hue saturation layer, I'm controlling gray. So I change everything to gray. So suppose I don't want this space to become gray. So in that case, I'll remove this from this with the help of this mask. If I paint black, it will expose that color part. It's basically hiding those area. Okay. And this thing, if you want to fill, alt delete, alt delete whatever whichever thing is here, you fill that color. X, alt delete, full white. So same thing, same formula for all the masks, irrespective of any software. And okay, those things will be for future. Like a lot of things are there in mask, like alphas and all these things. But something will when we progress, I'll explain. So now same thing, applied this. So in this particular image, you can see it's mostly gray. There is no solid black. But if I switch it on, it becomes solid black. Reason, if you double click this and make sure you have selected this one, not this mask. Select this because there is solid black. That's why. If I change this solid black to something else, let's see, we change color. So let's see. For this black, I want darker tool, something like this. And lighter tool, I want something like this. And in between, I can have more tools. So control and space bar, you can zoom in. Space bar, you can pan it. So this is, I feel it's way too light. Maybe you can add little color, move slightly. And this one also, if I want to make change it, I can make it slightly saturated. If you move it to right, it will saturate the color, and left, desaturate the color. Slightly saturated. In between, also, I have a lot of, you can see there's like little orangish, reddish tint, those tones. So, center, just click. It will create one more anchor point here. And in between, I can have a in between tone. I can add as many anchor point here. I can click one more here and have a lighter tone. Maybe this is like way too light. Or I can just remove it, click and drag down, remove it. You can use this and add all these tones. Let's see. So I have somewhere location. This location you can change. Okay. Move it. And slightly darker tone. So if you click again, it will repeat the same color. So I need to darker tone. Something like this. So now this is affecting, somebody saying something, the control plus scroll V also. Yes, control plus scroll also zoom in, zoom out. So right now this thing is affecting the entire image. So I'll just bring it down because this frame I want it to be white. So just click and drag it down. Now this thing should affect this skin only. So I'll go to mask, select the mask, take a brush, fill, control backspace to fill black, alt backspace to fill white. We'll use that thing. Foreground background will fill it basically. So now I want to paint white and face only skin area. And use soft brush. If you right click, you can see you have a lot of brushes. So for painting this kind of thing, use a soft brush with like blurred edges always. If I use a hard brush, it will become very difficult to. So, yes, just for the skin. Then again, I'll create another green map for the hair, for your sweater, separate things. You chose like three or four colors for skin. Yeah, the light and all the tones. Yeah, all the tones. So the color that is given is the mixture of all four. Yes. 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 But you need to have tones, like you need to have shading there. Based on the shading of this image, it will appear or disappear. So if in this photo, black and white photo, you can see you have those gray tones. So based on this is visible. If we don't have any tones, it would work. Okay, I need to change the brush. The brush also with intensity I can control with pen. This is something I'll show you how it works. So all the brushes, they have their own property. So this is, you can see. The paint. This is a solid brush with blurred edges. Soft brush. So whatever you can do this. Then this is again hard brush. Then you have other brushes where you have flow control. You see, low intensity, transparent, high intensity, black. Same brush, flow and opacity can control with the help of brush. Similarly, this one, you see, it looks soft, dark. It's all pen pressure, tablet pressure. One more brush with thickness in it. You see, low intensity will be really thin lines, high intensity, broad lines. So all those things can control with the pen tablet itself. You don't have to, all this thing, if you're having difficulty, you have opacity, flow, smoothness, all these options you can change, brush size can change and use it. But I'll recommend try to control pen pressure. This will speed up your process work. And plus this is like usually professionals, they use this only. So practice this. Flip. Opacity makes flow is basically flow of the brush, and opacity basically the transparency, like it's light or dark. That's clear. Huh. It will again make the which brush? Last one. It's this one. So this can control both the things. So let's see it. I use a standard brush, solid brush. It's a solid brush, right? Like no matter what it is, it's solid only hard brush. So if I reduce opacity here, opacity of the color reduced, it becomes transparent, right? Then we make it 100% and in the flow, you can see it's transparent, but it's flowing differently. If you want to create those overlapping things, modify things, see every bend, flow is changing, right? Little smooth and plus you have little transparency here, but it's a little darker as compared to this. You can control both the things with pen tablet. Oh, blue was 0, that's it. Almost to 0. In this idea, that's fine. The top of it is painted. This area was a little darker, so a little more pressure. We're going to paint over this and remove that mask. So this chain also have painted, so I have to remove this from this mask. So what I'll do, I'll press X, switch this, or I can click on this button, switch it, reduce the brush size. Now I'm going to paint black. I have to make sure it's clean. You can paint this. So what if whatever you have painted, what if you miss some area and not able to identify that? So how to check that? Press Alt, click on the mask. It will show you the mask. And I can see like some few areas like I need to fix. this also. Let's see. X, we paint white. Look back in this. Yeah, so this color. So now, but still I have those tone, but it looks almost monochrome flat. So what I'll do is switch off this and I'll use for adjustment layer, I'll use one more level. Level is to change the level of you have this uh, gray values, right? Tonal values. So that is something I'll change with this. You can use level, curve, anything. You can increase this slightly. It will increase the depth, and if we move this, it will increase brightness. Now I have more highlighted area and darker area. Or if you are like having difficulty moving this, click here, scroll, increase, decrease. Yes. The contrast also you have a separate option for that. Yes, let's say brightness contrast. You can use any one of them. Suppose you want to add some brightness or increase the contrast. You can use this. You can use curve. You can use exposure. All these options are there. So click on this. So I have more contrast here. So now I can see all the corners are slightly blurry. That whitish line I can see. I can define this and go back and define it. And this color. So now I feel I have tonal value, but I need more lighter tone plus little darker tone. I'll double click, go back, click this, change slightly darker tone, and highlight to make it slightly lighter. Lighter tone. We have more tonal values. Now we have light tone, dark tone, and plus you can suppose here you want to add some different color, maybe some little yellowish, little reddish. You can definitely select it, move it slightly yellow, you can add those tones. So in one layer, you can add all the colors. This looks like alien for this favor is back. So you can add all those tones. This is like a more professional way of adding colors, tones and all. Instead, like I can, if I want manually add color, I can do that as well. Like suppose for your drawing and all, you have a drawing sketch of something and you want to paint it. So how do you add color? So usually what we do is you have a line art and we use that. Let's see. Okay. Merge black and white. Suppose this is my line art and I want to color this. So this background in solid white. So I'll change this layer and there's something called you layer blending mode. This is something we'll explain one by one because I'm just showing it. In blending mode, if I multiply this, nothing changes. The reason background is white. Whenever you multiply, it shows black. Whatever black here, it will show. So down this layer, I can keep one more empty layer. And if I suppose I want to paint something, let's see. Paint some color. If I empty layer, I'm just painting it. I can paint it directly. So still it will retain all the information, everything. This is how like concept artists, they keep this thing in multiply and down under this they paint it. It will retain all the information. I can have multiple color, as many colors I want. Here, here, you see, same thing. I can add all colors in one layer itself. But problem with this is if you add all the colors in one layer, it's a destructive way of doing it because if you want to change something, like because usually in industry, we work for client, right? We have a client. So if suddenly client say, okay, change this to blue, you have to redo it. Then it's like, again, you have to spend the entire day and redo the entire thing. Hmm? It basically shows black, or whatever black in your image, it will show those darker tones. Okay, let's see, liner. So let's suppose this is a drawing, right? Let's see something. Okay, this is a drawing. Okay. Paste it, delete this, delete this. So here, okay, Control Shift U. This will convert it into black and white quickly. So this is and increase a little bit contrast. Make it nice, dark and blue. This thing. So now I want to paint it. So I need to, this is like concept art. So I want to paint, add colors to this thing. So what I'll do is base, I can fill any color, but you can see if I fill any color, you can still see this image. It's all white and black, but I don't want this white part. I want to fill color. I select this, convert this into multiply. All the whites is vanished. No, it's not. It's a blending mode. It's basically blending mode of that layer. It be multiply only shows darker tones or black tones. No, the subtract also there. Subtract basically like subtracting some color. From suppose I want to subtract from blue, I want to subtract yellow. So it will become green or something, some other color. Mhm. Hmm. 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 Okay. Huh. Yes, like that is yes. Like suppose in this image, okay, let's see, it's solid white, and this is not in multiply. So in this image, like I added couple of, I increase the contrast level. So you have those little gray tone. So all this tonal value, like the gray value, if you multiply this, it will be visible. Multiply. So still same. If I change the color, that we can see it clearly. Like that. You can see if you have anything here, either you can erase it or you maybe can increase the contrast. Play around with this layer, not with this. This is a solid color, no blending, nothing. Blend. I want only and only outline. That's what you want, right? So you just have to multiply this. But in case if you have something white and you want to show only white, you have to screen it. There is a mode called screen also. So you can see all the black line become this color. So those different blending. So that is something we'll do later. So those things are there. Okay, let's see. I just added this color, and now, okay, let's. Hmm. Hmm. Move the brighter side to yes, and but you also did the darker one also. Make it more dark. Yes. To have more this shadow, I wanted to be prominent, like it will be darker. That's right. So, it's like a creative call. So it's up to you. Like if you find, if you feel okay, this should be even more darker, you can make it darker. If you want to make it a little lighter, you can make it lighter. So the gradient is providing a single color or based on the shadow information of the image? Based on the shadow information, those colors are visible. So this color visible based on the gray, whatever grayscale value you have here. So if, in this case, suppose client asks you to change this color to something else, like mid-tone or highlight, something ask you to change it to blue. Suppose let's say highlight, or change to blue. You can do it instantly without redoing everything. Similarly, now I want to add, suppose for I want to add color. So this multiply thing works for color as well. So suppose I added new layer and change it to multiply because okay, let's paint it first. I'll show you this thing. Let's, if I paint something here, you see, it will cover the background, this image entirely. But I want that information plus the color. But change is blending mode of layer. So whenever you multiply, all the background, all the depth basically will be visible. I can change it. So now I can see my color looks pretty like quite dark. So what I can do is lighter. And now I want to fill this, like change this color with this color. So either I can lock it and control delete, or I can unlock it, huh? Alt delete, Alt delete, or you can like Alt Shift without locking. This is without locking. Alt Shift delete. Okay, same color I believe. So without locking, Alt Shift delete. So it will fill those pixels only. If you just press Alt delete, it will fill the entire image, entire layer. Okay. So I have this color. Let's change this. And this highlight is supposed to be white only. So I'll just erase it. Then go to E, shortcut for eraser. Reduce the brush size. So 100%. So in this layer, we have only a blue tint. That's it. If you want to add something else, like usually our eyeball is not white. It's little off-white, slightly hint of red, and all these things are there. So I can do the same thing. One more layer. Go to brush, and suppose you want to pick something from here. In brush mode, press Alt, pick the color. You can see same color. I can make it little more yellow, slightly like that. If I paint it directly, I can see it's erasing everything. So I'll paint it first. And change this to multiply. Blend with this. Okay. So like this is like I got the base tone. This is still not 100% correct because skin still have a lot of tonal values. So what I'll do for this, I'll use an empty layer, and this time I'll paint those tones manually. Like let's see this image around eyes. I have this darker tone. So I want this because this is like very specific to that eye region, right? So I have to do it manually. Multiply, soft brush, and very low intensity. So like I picked, yes, yes, definitely. Similarly, if I change some tools here, you see nose slightly lighter. So I can add slightly, you see, in multiply, whatever you paint, it will make it little darker. So I can use a separate layer here, paint the lighter tone. So just painting. There's no blending mode, nothing. I'm directly painting. Add same thing I'll use for hair, same for sweater. I'll add all the tonal values, and then once I am done with adding colors and tones, I'll add one more layer. Yes. Hmm. Yes. Yes. Right there. So that is for that we'll blur it. If you smudge, yes, you can smudge also, or you can blur also, like end result, right? So if you blur or smudge, you do the same thing. So it's an empty layer. So once I'm done with all colors and all, I'll go to brush and choose a this brush is a very small, tiny brush, and it should be like more dark, almost black. And this eyebrow, I'll paint it and direction of hair flow. Just remember that initially starts like this, always, and then from here it bends, goes down, and this will follow. Like this, you can enhance, like here I can say this is off and bend it slightly. Same thing for this post eyelash and all. It's supposed to be with solid black. Yes. That's like a mask. So I'll fix the mask. I want I can paint some eyelashes also. You can modify things. So now, like whatever you have created, so you can select everything, all the layers, Control G to group it.